All right, happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast. Sitting here in the Arctic Air studios where the air is always just as it should be perfect, wonderful, and ready to go. If your air is not like that this winter, you need to call the bear. Callthebear.com. Get a hold of my man, Stacy. He'll take care of you. Now, beyond that, tonight, beyond that, being in the Arctic Air studios, we're brought to you by, in part, United Supermarkets and Market Street. They're here to help you make your life easier during the holidays. You're on the go, everything's crazy. You don't have time to cook. Prepared meals, they got them ready to go. Or you just go through, hit the deli, hit the hot bar. Get even today. I was there today at Market Street, and I'm going to have some chili cheese dogs later on tonight. But they had the cold fried chicken ready to go, and I'm like, how can I not get that? But I resisted the temptation because I knew I was going to have some good chili cheese dogs tonight. So we got all that going on tonight. Whether you want to talk about Tech football and Mac Leftwich being hired as the OC, whether you want to talk about Tech basketball, huge opportunity against Texas A&M, must win, must win moment. Most Texan thing you have done this week, every Friday. That's what we do in Raiderland. We talk about the most Texan thing we have done. And then Big 12 title game. Why the hell are we playing it still? And the whole Mike Gundy thing at Oklahoma State is pure Mike Gundy. We've got a Gundy standoff going on. Take less money, do this, or we fire you. The deadline was 5 o'clock. It's 6:30. We still don't know what the hell's going on in Stillwater. So we got a show for you in three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. You started your day there today, getting the Raiderland hot links. We serve them up hot and fresh every morning, the best links around Raiderland. We ask you the most Texan thing that you have done this week. We do that every week. And then we had a little Texas Tech basketball thought for you on how you cannot lose to A&M, because if you do, you're going to go into Big 12 play about 30 spots or so, maybe more, outside of the NCAA tournament on the RPI cut line. That ain't good. Brought to you by Lifts West Hotel and Condominium in Red River. Ski season underway. Check. Great skiing up there. Check. Making snow. Yes. Getting a lot of snow. Yes. Holidays booking up fast. So you need to call my man Billy Hurst at Lifts West. Tell him we sent you. Tell him Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland sent you. And then when he quits laughing, they'll get you taken care of. Also by the Shropshire Agency in Lubbock, Texas, independent agency, just like you, independent, your own thought, your own way of doing things. They'll get you set up the best in business. Maybe you have to do insurance for a church or a nonprofit. They can really help you out there. Going into 2025, don't go into your insurance year without calling Jeff Shropshire in the Shropshire Agency. Don't do it. And like we said, whether you're on YouTube, and we love the YouTube people, whether you're on Twitter X, we love the Twitter X people, whether you're on Facebook Live, we want to hear from you tonight. United Supermarkets taking care of all the communications tonight. Here on the broadcast, we're going to go as long as it's good, fun, entertaining, and interesting to us. So that means your comments are going to drive it. So if you've never commented before tonight, comment tonight. If you've never asked a question, ask a question tonight, because otherwise, again, chili cheese dogs. James gets in first on the Facebook, and he has got the thumbs up, going good. Hi to you. Hope you had a good dinner there in Plainview at Leal's on the way to watch Ropes and Groover. He wants to say Guthrie. Ropes and Groover tonight there in Canyon at the old Kimbrough Memorial Stadium, the old Buffalo Bowl. A wink. How about Cody ponying up for the Big Uglies? Said he would. Got the money. It's up to the Board of Regents and the man who's got his name on the field to pay the freight. Now, who's going to identify him? Well, you've got an offensive coordinator in Mac Leftwich. Will you have a new offensive line coach? I don't know. It's all about the Jimmies and Joes, but you got to evaluate the evaluators. So who's going to identify them? Cody Campbell is who he's talking about, for those who don't. What do you think he does? Talking about Mike Gundy. I think he tells him to go take a flying at a rolling donut. I think it's not suicide by cop. That's the wrong phrase to use. I hate that phrase. He is Jay Wright without the championships. He hates college football. He hates everything about it. He wants to become a martyr. He wants them to fire him. He wants Oklahoma State to fire him. And he's done everything he could this year, from insulting the fans to just saying, I don't like anything about what we do in college football. Well, then good, go. But no, wait. That man, Mike Gundy, wants to get paid because he's a hypocrite. He wants his money. Justin says Gundy gone. We'll see tonight. Waiting to see definitive action out of Stillwater. Chris, most Texan think bought a new chainsaw. Is that Texan? Yeah. I mean, even in West Texas, you got to cut stuff down. If you're in East Texas, absolutely you got to have one. Randy, is Gundy getting leached? No, he's not getting leached. He's getting older. He's not winning, and he hates college football. Totally different than Leach. Leach made too many people mad for too many years, and Gundy's kind of done that, if that's where you're going, Randy. But he also not winning right now this year and not showing signs of doing anything that's going to make him win. Two very different things. So, and I will say this, when we hit the button to go live with you guys, we can only focus on a couple of things at a given moment. You guys have access to Twitter in real time that I can't see doing what I'm doing right now, that it may break with reliable sources. Reliable sources is what I'm saying. I think Gundy's done, but it may break during the show. KOCO5 TV reporting that Gundy asked for an extension of the deadline. Border Regions has 3 days to respond now. 3 days. So we're in this. You got 3 days. What does this say? What is it? Pat Green song. We got 3 days. Get this under control. If you got to go 3 days, fire him. If you're Oklahoma State, just fire him. He wants to be fired. It's not going to work. He's not going to like anything better. It's not going to get any better. Just fire him. Oklahoma State's a mess, though. So that's okay. Good. That helps Texas Tech. That makes life easier. The more Oklahoma State is a mess, that's good. All right, so it's official today. Mac Leftwich out of Texas State, your OC. I will throw this out here on a Friday night. What is he going to do different or more or better than Zach Kitley, who is now the head coach at FAU? That as you watch Leftwich come in and you've had a chance now to see the resume and what he's done, what is it that he is going to do that is going to be better, or do you just hope that he maintains what you've had? Then we have the basketball discussion. We talked about the non-conference schedule. It's killing Tech right now. Absolutely killing Tech right now. The DePaul win, the uneducated fans, not you because you pay attention here, we're going, well, they beat DePaul. DePaul's great, man. Joey Meyer and, his dad, Ray Meyer, and DePaul's awesome. DePaul's crap. They're on an NCAA tournament team. A&M's the first NCAA tournament team right now that you're going to play. Hoops HD would have them today as a 10 seed. All right? As a 10 seed. Least attractive job, Utah or Oklahoma State? Utah. From a recruiting standpoint and everything else, I would say Utah would be least attractive, and all the issues and problems that they've had over the years. Oklahoma State still, by being in the Big 12 and where they are, has a recruiting footprint that you can win pretty consistently at a 7, 8, 9 win level. Tell me more about Utah going forward. Leftwich played at UTEP. He was a quarterback at UTEP when Aaron Morris was a running back. They played against Cliff in 2015 in Lubbock. Aaron Jones. I think I said Aaron Moore. Aaron Jones, who went to the Packers, If he doesn't hurt his ankle in that game, by the way, they beat Tech. Won't hurt my feelings if he gets fired. Gundy is a jerk. Yeah, could be. Let's hope Leftwich left the spreadsheet in San Marcos. Why do we hate spreadsheets? What do we have against spreadsheets all of a sudden? Again, I want to reiterate, your comments will drive the show back. So fire away, whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, and X. We've had everybody on. If you are watching on, you're watching on right now, our Facebook Live page or our Twitter page, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, like it. Everybody on YouTube, like it, thumbs up, all that stuff. Drives the metric, makes my wife feel better about me not being a lawyer. Truly, factually, if you do that, makes things better. But like all of our platforms, if you can, because that's helping all of our great advertisers, like the Shropshire Agency in Lubbock, Texas, independent insurance agents, damn near 70 years now. They ain't just Johnny come lately. They're good. They can help you out. And of course, our friends out there in Red River at Lifts West, where hopefully you get a chance to go skiing this winter. You go stay with my friends there. All right. But to do that, we have to grow all the platforms. That means everybody subscribes to everything. It don't cost nothing. Then you watch the show and interact where you want to. Like Jeff on YouTube, who hates spreadsheets. Or maybe Paul on Twitter X, at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter X. Hopefully Tech plays with hair on fire. Basketball, I assume, right now. Don't play with your hair on fire. Don't do that. That's not good. Play smart. Don't jack up threes. Hair on fire team jacks up threes. Smart team doesn't jack up threes. Randy, you remember? Remember when OSU Stadium was called Rust-Oleum before Boone took over? The bleachers were more rusted, and the 50s tractor. Just ask one David Collier. I was there before David Collier, even though David Collier went to school in that neck of the woods. Yeah, Lewis Field Stadium was a glorified high school stadium, even lower on the tier in the early Big 12 than Jones Stadium in 1996-97 when we got started, Topping back for A&M. I believe so, but don't quote me. I believe so. Need him. You got to get this win against A&M. If you lose against A&M, your RPI is going to drop into the 60s. God forbid you lose to anybody else in the non-conference. Your RPI is in the 70s. That puts you 30 RPI points outside of the NCAA tournament going into the toughest basketball league in America. It gives you great upside winning, but you have no margin for error. You cannot lose a game if you're Texas Tech and you want to make the NCAA tournament this year, in my opinion. And this is a good team. That's what's so maddening about this non-conference schedule. Quit that crap. It's horrible. It would be the most Tech thing ever if the Pokes fire Gundy and they end up winning the Big 12 with their new coach. Most Tech thing ever? If the Pokes fire? You mean like if Oklahoma State wins next year with a new coach, it would be a Tech thing. I got no idea where you're coming from, brother, but rock on with that idea. Late to the show, anyone ask about this 5-star offensive lineman that didn't sign with Bama? Tech in on him. Have no idea. I don't give a shit about high school recruiting anymore. I used to give this much about it, all right? Now that you sign 15 guys, 12, 7, whatever, don't care. Don't care. Because call me next year if they're still here. Call me 2 years from now if they're still here and they're contributing. Call me 3 years from now if they're juniors and they're really doing something with the transfer portal and everything else. And I just don't get. High school recruiting doesn't matter anymore until it matters. So I don't care who they're in on some 5-star offensive lineman any more than a 5-star wide receiver. Should be some good, entertaining championship games tomorrow. Should they? I mean, what do they matter? The committee told you what they're going to do. The data points are in. Teams that aren't playing are in. There's like maybe 1 or 2 games that could matter possibly. You know, SMU loses this weekend. They're probably, I don't know. Big 12 champion wins. They're in. I like Iowa State, by the way. Take Iowa State. I like the defense. But do they really matter? I would say this, CJ. Why are we playing a championship game in the Big 12? Why should the Big 12 continue to play a championship game, a title game? Because the idea now is to get teams into the playoff with a 12-team playoff, and it'll expand shortly to 16. Why are we playing a game that basically is an elimination game for teams in the Big 12? Why are we doing it? What's the point? Oh, well, we get a lot of money out of it. Well, you're going to get more money out of getting 2 teams into the playoff. Playoff? Why are we playing it? Why are we doing this? Why does it matter? You know, the SEC guys are talking about how, you know, like Steve Sarkisian, yeah, this game matters. We want to win championships and titles. Yeah, you can do it in the SEC. You know, you're going to get 4 or 5 teams in. Hey, in the Big 12, we're only screwing ourselves by playing a championship game now. Play to the end of the regular season, play your 9 games, crown a quote champion, and then just let them deal with it. You know? Just deal with it. You take our numbers, we played 12 games. These are our best 2 teams. Put them in. What do you want to do? Why are we doing the championship game? Stupid. Alan, remember the last time Tech fans got worked up over a 5-star? They went harikari over his transfer. Yes, they did. Back on Twitter X. Well, in that case, Tech looking at multi-year offensive line out of the portal or just 1 year, guys? Does it matter? Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Get old, stay old. If you could bring me portal guys that could play 1 or 2 years every year and they're good and they're experienced, absolutely. 100% do that. The old model was get your guys in, draft, sign 5 or 6 offensive linemen every year, grow them up, and by the time they're juniors and seniors, they can be really effective offensive linemen. Well, if other people are going to do that for you, then you can identify them. Then you can bring them in as free agents because everybody's a free agent every year, unlike the NFL. Then I would do that until it changes back. Then I would go back to signing offensive linemen out of high school, grow them up if I can keep them. But to do that, I've got to have something called a collective bargaining agreement. We've got to unionize the players, and I sign you to a 3 or a 4 year deal, just like in the NFL. You know? I get what you're saying. I truly do. But right now, I'd rather go out and get juniors and seniors, identify them, bring them in, and I'm not going to screw around with high school kids anymore. Should expand to 64. No. 16. Perfect. It'll go to 32 when you have the 64-72 team league. It'll go there. Don't worry. Ask Alan Corbin. He's been listening to me since he was like 5 years old. He knows I'm right on this stuff. I've been right all down the line on everything that has happened in college football, particularly and otherwise, for about the last 25 years. Sometimes it takes a little longer to get there. I've been right on everything that's happening. I mean, somebody's got to say it. I might as well say it. But he knows I'm right. When the Big 12 didn't have one, they punished TCU. They'll always move the goalpost. Yeah, we're data points. We need more data points. Less data points, we can't, you know. But right now, what is the point of the championship game if the championship game doesn't guarantee you a spot? If the championship game guarantees you 100% locked in, sign me up. You win the Big 12, you're in top 4. Play the game. Until they tell me that the Big 12 title game guarantees you a top 4 spot in the college football playoff, get rid of the damn thing. Just stating that they win some just stating that they would be some good games to watch. Play championship games definitely for the money. Money doesn't matter anymore. Playoff dwarfs it. Don't need it. It's not that single game dollar figure now. When they started in the 90s, mattered. Doesn't matter now. Not worth the money. Don't know. Offense, receiver, something like that. 64 teams, 8 divisions. Top 2 from each division make the playoffs or the layoffs, in your opinion. That's fine. I mean, that's what I want. I want a definitive structure like the NFL where it is earned on the field. You have the ability geographically or otherwise through the divisions to play into it. You win, you're in, you don't. There's nobody selecting, there's nobody doing anything. Yeah, but all the good teams are in the Southeast. Not my problem. Sometimes all the good teams are in the NFC East. Sometimes they're in the AFC Central, North. Sometimes they're in the right now NFC North. Yeah, sorry, don't care. That's the way it works. My model has 70 teams, 10, 17 pods, 2 conferences. Jakob, rock it out. I mean, that would be better than what we've got right now without even seeing it. It's all about SEC anyway. It's only about the SEC right now because it's that way with the networks. I said the other day that if the ACC and the Big 12 wanted to band together with everybody else and force their way to cull out everybody from the Big 10 and the SEC and go an AFL, NFL style merger, forced merger, they could do it. That if those teams said we will not participate in the playoff, we will not play those teams in non-conference, that the only teams that play each other are the SEC and the Big 10, non-conference, and they do their deal, that'd be getting really interesting because you still have a lot of power within those conferences, and they take their basketball and they go home, and they start their own basketball tournament. Brett Yormark needs to play hardball. I think he's more than capable, knowing his history, of doing that. But fans are going to have to also say, we're going to play hardball. We're not going to be a part of your club. We're going to do our own thing. That if you woke up tomorrow and said, we're going to run our own show, and the SEC and the Big 10 are out of it, and it's going to be all these schools, but your Tech's not going to be a part of, any of those SEC, Big 10 stuff, anything. Are you tough enough to do that? I don't know. I don't know that many fans are. A lot of fans talk a big game, but at the end of the day, they just want to, feed at the trough. I'm doing a poor job on the product placement. There we go. A lot of fans talk a big game. At the end of the day, they just want to be part of the process. They're not willing to do what it would take to make it happen. All right, basketball, A&M tomorrow. Thoughts on that? You guys have gone a little longer than I thought you would on a Friday night. I'm impressed. I truly am. I appreciate it. Everybody at Lifts West in Red River, they appreciate it as well. Next time you're heading to the ski slopes, you need to call them. Also, the Shropshire Agency in Lubbock, independent insurance agents. Please, particularly if you own a business, you're a business owner, call Jeff Shropshire. All right, man, do it. Give him a holler. Tell him we sent you. Save you some money. And everybody who's jumping in tonight, all the communication brought to you by United Supermarkets, Market Street, wherever you may be. Title game. Gundy. Do we have anything? Alan Corbin is pretty much my guy on keeping up in real time on stuff. We got anything New. If the 3-day thing is it, Oklahoma State's a bunch of wussies. It's not going to work out. I mean, the best thing from a tech standpoint, truly, Oklahoma State keeps Gundy. He's unhappy. He hates the structure. He won't work well within it. Everybody recruits against him. So that's the best deal if you're Tech. Amen, Brother Hyatt. The NFL model is perfect for college. It can be. It's not hard. It can be. Earn it on the field, set up strict criteria. This is how you get in. And college football fans will go, yeah, we get it. You win the league, you win this, you do this, you're in. It's not hard. Jan, great show tonight. I don't know if it was a great show. I mean, I would take like moderately average or pretty decent on a Friday. A lot of Friday nights this time of year, most people give up. They don't do anything. Not here in Raiderland. Hey, man, we're still going out there, hanging out there with you. So I would take like, moderately above average. Truly, I would. James, outside of Turpin, who's your go-to guy tomorrow against A&M? Toppin, I think, is probably what you mean. D. Will, I mean, it's Toppin, it's Hawkins. To me, actually, in not having seen a lot of A&M, and that's my problem right now in breaking down the game. I just hadn't seen a lot of them. That I think you just got to go with your guy's strengths. So Toppin needs to be on the floor. I think he's going to be on the floor. If he's not, it ain't so good. Then you're going to have some other guys step up and really be creators. Don't shoot threes. All right? Don't shoot threes. 15 max. If Tech shoots more than 17 threes, they're going to lose tomorrow. There you go. Nothing from anyone official on Twitter on Gundy, says Jeff. Not that we can believe Twitter, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Game Sunday. I know. It's right there. I know, Jan. It's Sunday. I keep saying Saturday. It's right there. It's on the 8th. It's got on my dry erase calendar. It's in big red letters. It is Sunday. Thank you. I apologize. My brain is still kind of football, which means anything that happens is a Saturday, it's Sunday. They're at Dickey's Arena, so make sure you get out there and check it out. Points in the paint are the basketball equivalent of the run the damn ball. Yeah, and just already this year, I'm seeing a huge regression when Tech gets above about 15, 16 three-point attempts. Then it's not worth it. You're just not that good at shooting it. You're just not. So don't. We'll see. Thank you, Jan, though. Yes. That's why Jan's here to correct me when I misspeak. Sunday. Let me see real quick. I want to see before we get out here, like we got like 3 minutes left. I wonder if I've still got this. No, I do not. A&M 39 today. It went down actually a couple of spots from 37 on the hoopshd.com. Texas Tech still at 55. That's a bubble team, a 10-11 seed versus a team outside. And this is the best game you got right now. It's fine, but when you shoot 29% as a team, 30% as a team, that's not good. All right. That was like Pop last year might make 4, but everybody else missed them. You get long runouts. It turns around the other way. It's not good. Not good at all. She has ESPN. She can see scores in the future. Jan, 78-75. I could probably live with that tempo on that score, Why is Tech's non-conference schedule so weak? We talked about this year, last year, last couple of years, and basically it boils down to you've had a couple of seasons, obviously, where you're coming off a coaching change. So the new coach wants the easiest route to wins possible because you don't know what you got. Now, with the flux in roster turnover, you don't know what you've got. So you want the easiest schedule so you can try to figure out in November and December what you got. The other aspect of that, and this is something that's real that Tech deals with. Nobody wants to come to Lubbock. Nobody wants to play a home and home because Tech's good. Lubbock has great crowds, so it's hard to get any legitimate school in a quad one to agree to a one and home and home. Now you're relying on these neutral site tournaments where you might get good teams, you might not. You can't control it. So it's about a fourfold deal. The first thing you can control though is you can schedule better. You can get out of the 4 and 3 quadrant and get into the 3 and 2 quadrant in non-conference. You can do that. To get the really good teams to come home and home, you're going to have to spend some money, and you got to be so good. And that means you've got to be a quad one. You got to be a top 20 team in order for those teams to say, if I go on the road and play you and I lose, it's not going to hurt me. Because in basketball, that's a great thing that you can go play those games. You can go play those games and it doesn't kill you as long as I'm good and you're good. Or, well, right now, that's been an uneven transaction for Tech in basketball. So you got these 4 factors that are working against you right now. The first part, though, you can schedule better on the back end and go from there. But that's basically why it's been so weak. Personally excited for Leftwich actually running the ball creatively. He averages 40 rushing attempts a game, 32 passing attempts. Yeah, we'll find out, won't we? We will find out. Angie, it's got to be it's got to be Texan to start the week driving 5 hours round trip to watch a B team junior high basketball game, ending the same week driving 3.5 hours round trip in the opposite direction for a 4-H speaking contest. That's Texan right there. We're just going to assume the B team junior high won. And here, by the way, here's to all the B team junior high players out there. I myself was one once upon a time. Here's to the idea that you're trying to play basketball, you're awkward, you're growing, and your uniform never fits. Ever. Junior high B team uniforms never fit. Everything's either too big or too small. And in the early 80s, the shorts, if they were too small, I did get a couple of dates out of it, but it was still awkward as hell. Put on the Bob Knight Memorial Tournament in Lubbock, invite only quad one teams. That'd be cool if you could do it. Get the money, get the TV backing. You got 15,000 seats. Good luck. Meanwhile, back to football. Why doesn't the Big 12 just play conference games? 12 conference games, crown a championship, best strength of schedule. Fascinating, would be great. Would kill you on the win total, though. So that's why you don't. The model's fine right now. The 3-9 model's great. Got no problem with the 3-9 model. The 3-9 model. Kind of short, isn't she? Yeah. A little weird. All right, you guys have been really good tonight. Much better than I anticipated. I applaud you. Your contributions were great. Now, the last thing you do tonight, you share the dog out of this on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, and everywhere else. Anywhere you can share this. I'm going to post this on our website, theraiderland.com. We'll be with you Sunday for a little round ball rewind. The first big one of the year. We'll do that Sunday. We'll also have our 5 things on Sunday. Saturday, hell, we may take a day off. I've thought about doing that. May actually do that tomorrow. which means killing gophers, pocket gophers. Anybody know about pocket gophers? Pocket, yeah, pocket, yeah, or killing gophers now. So that's the drill, though. Want to thank all of our great sponsors here in the Arctic Air Studios. If the air gets too Arctic, call the Bear here in Lubbock and West Texas. They'll get you taken care of. Lifts West Hotel and Condominium, Red River. When you're going out there to go skiing, please stay with my friend Billy and their people in the Shropshire Agency. Nobody does it better when it comes to insurance. Independent in West Texas. And of course, everybody who got in tonight, including Angie, who has driven 5 and then 8 and then, well, she drove a whole lot, this week. United Supermarkets in Market Street. There's one grocery store that takes care of Texas Tech. There's another one here in the Hovaplex that does not. Basing your money somewhere else. I wonder where that is. Maybe Austin? I got to hit a button now. It's going to stop it. Share it. Put it out there. You guys are the best. We love you. Thanks for being out there in Raiderland. Don't forget everything we do archived at theraiderland.com.